And we have 7 very beautiful grandchildren. Can you imagine being a mother, seeing your own child's intellectual development deteriorate in front of your very eyes? If the local government cannot protect those children, if the state government cannot protect those children, then the federal government better get in and do the right thing. I'm Bernie Sanders, and I approve this message. Jane and I.
Hey, everybody. That was a quick start to this. I really wasn't aware that we had not only a forum tonight, but also the rally in Ann Arbor. So how you doing? Welcome to the coverage of both. We're going to try to bring you both. Supposedly Fox 17 will be bringing us the coverage. I don't know what it is. They say they're going to bring us coverage of the forum and of Bernie Sanders in Ann Arbor. There is a concert going on there with some known names and concerts. I don't know the name of the bands or the artists. Scott was telling me earlier, but we're hoping we can catch something. I'm going to watch Fox 17, see what they've got. They've got pre-debate coverage. Now, I can't use National Fox News. So if it turns out to be National Fox News, I can't use that footage. So I will cut to a meta coverage of the forum. We'll track YouTube. We've got comment mods working right now. I don't know that we have a comment sheet. I'll have to get that going. If somebody could put that together for me, that would be great in chat. Basically, I'm just going to vamp here for a little bit, folks, until we find out what's going on and what we've got coming from Fox. If Fox 17 Local's giving us a feed, we'll go to that. We'll watch Bernie speak. My understanding is he's going to speak at this thing. Then it's going to move on to Hillary, right? And that there's a concert going on in Ann Arbor. That may start before Bernie's done speaking at the event. I don't know what coverage we're going to get from Fox 17. So we'll go with that. Maybe we'll have some reporters kick in. Hopefully we've got some people in comments. We've got viewers starting to show up. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Like I said, how's it going? It's going good. Golden Knight. Hey, JS Tube 36 and Steve P. Bad Wolf, Melissa Cody, Aztec CK. Town Hall. Yeah, Town Hall. It's not an official debate because Debbie Wasserman Schultz will not allow the Democratic candidates to do debates. Debate meaning that both of them are on stage at the same time. So like last night where they could banter with each other. A forum is where one comes out at a time, they answer questions, and then they're sent back. I actually like the forum better. I think you get better questions and answers out of a forum. I think in a debate, I don't like it. One person talking over another. People thought, Bernie having to stop Hillary from interrupting. And Hillary was literally like going on and on and on. Anderson Cooper would be like, it's time to shut up, Hillary. And she'd be like, rah, 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 rah. So, I don't like the debate for that reason. I think a forum is a much more, I just like it better. That's just my personal opinion. So I will say that. We like I said, waiting to see what happens with Fox. Looks like they've cut to the forum scene. This is Fox News Live. I see them getting started. It's Brett Baer, whatever it is. And this is not. This is national news, so I can't use that. So waiting for somebody to tell me in broadcast planning or live production. Got a comment sheet and gathering comment mods. Wonderful. All right, so let's look and see what's going on here. I will get to that, folks. Did you guys hear me on Nicole Sandler's show this morning? That was so cool. I never get to be on shows like that. That was fun. Go check out Nicole Sandler on YouTube, the show today. There was also there's a couple other people on there. I couldn't tell you who, but much bigger names than I am. But that was fun to be on that show. That was really cool, and I really thank Nicole for that. Pulling up the comment mod sheet. Here we are, Ann Arbor. Thanks, guys. Comments already flowing. Beautiful. Our conversation, our moderation, that's what makes this different, folks, right? That's what makes this different. I could show you what, right now they're doing a cover story on remembering Nancy Reagan. Just leave it at that. Remembering Nancy Reagan, folks. It's important. Let us see what we got going on here. I don't have a line on an article yet, but let's do a recap of where we're at. I want to show you where Nate Silver says we're at. Yesterday, so the Scott Galindez has been yelling at me, not yelling, he's been talking to me about the fact that we really need to do better with our numbers in terms of the distance about in terms of the win. It really needs to be a big win. So when we look at the numbers, what you're looking at is Hillary Clinton off of the main win yesterday, right? Basically, Bernie got 16 delegates, Hillary got 10. That's not enough of a difference. That's 6 delegates. We need to increase the number of delegate distance between Bernie and Hillary. We needed to win by much more, right? The fact that she still got 10 delegates out of that sucks because we really only pulled ahead by 6. And we didn't even pull ahead. So Bernie Sanders is at 86% of goal, where he was at 84 or 85 prior to Maine. And Hillary Clinton remains the same at 114% of goal per Nate Silver, 538's guideline on where they need to be here. Okay, so I just want to bring that into to light there, that the reason this is important is every vote counts, and we're talking about this because of Michigan tomorrow, and we'll be doing some kind of a streamathon thing, early coverage 2-3 hours before. I'm not exactly sure what all we're going to do. I was talking to Sean Porter about that after the newsroom tomorrow, what we're going to do. But every vote, we need to get as many people as we can in Michigan to vote because we need more numbers. We need bigger numbers. We need a higher percentage of people to vote for Bernie. It needs to be an overwhelming margin. It needs to be 40 points so that Hillary doesn't even qualify. And the best way to do that is more numbers, right? Bernie needs to win the vast majority of delegates in all of these states. We can't just rely on some of the big states we have coming later. And that's why, Michigan is important for a couple reasons. We really need to get out the vote there. And we really need to show the diversity in the Bernie Sanders group. We know the diversity. We're aware of the diversity. But establishment media has been pushing that message that there is no diversity. And we know that's not true. We know that is just not true. Let's make sure I'm on the right comment mod deck. Zoom. Scroll all the way up to the top. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for being here. There we go. Push. Bam. All right. What else do we have? What else do we have to talk about? This is, maybe we'll run this. Maybe we'll run this. Just 4 minutes, 16 seconds. Media desperately downplays Bernie Sanders' surge. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. By the way, hey there, Cenk Uygur. Massive respect, awesomeness. Love this commentary. I don't know who this other guy is. Or is that Jimmy without his glasses? And I'm terrible if that is. But Jimmy Dore also he rips apart Chris Matthews in another video, and we may play that if we have time, if we're just vamping here waiting for something to happen. I will cut out of this as soon as I know what's going on with the stream and when Bernie's coming on. If he's on right now, which I don't think. Let me just make sure, folks. Oh, he is. Shit. Guys, there's Bernie right there. He's on. I don't think we can actually show this, but Bernie's on. What do you want to do? You tell me. Do you want to switch to overhead comments? Do you want to switch to just comment only, and I'll shut up and we watch Bernie? I don't have a feed. Is what I'm saying. I can't run that. That is Fox National, and I will probably get smacked for it. I will get smacked for it. So you let me know what you want to do, folks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this. Oh, shit. No, Bernie's on. No, sorry. This is live. We need to go to Bernie. Bernie's on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to overhead comments, overhead display stuff. I'm going to shut up, tell everybody to go watch Bernie. I'm going to look desperately for a local feed right now. If I can find a local feed, I'll pull it. I'm going to check this link. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to lose this channel. So here. We will, here, we're going to run this just for now so I can get going on this. Be right back, folks. Go find Bernie. He's on right now. I just dropped the link, guys. So that's the Fox that I'm watching there. Just dropped that link. But unfortunately, it's a national feed. I can't cover. All right, everybody, we're back. That was actually really good. I pull up your comments, see what you guys are saying. We're having a conversation there. There's like more than 100 of you joining us. Thank you for being here. I don't know how many of you got to actually watch it. I was watching the whole thing. I was impressed. I thought the questions were good. I thought that it was on Fox News and it was good. I said those. Those words just came out of my mouth. It was on Fox News and it was good. Mostly good because Bernie Sanders just got to talk. But I thought the questions were good. I thought the discussion was good. I thought they were fair. Now, haven't heard what they're going to do with Hillary, but yeah, that was awesome. It was really good. Did everybody get to see it? Was the Fox web link available to everybody? Because that's pretty sweet. If it was, thank you, Fox. Sound? We should have sound. I see somebody saying sound. Sound should be back. It was, yeah. It was okay. I'm just reading your comments. Yeah, it was good. So here's the deal. I'm watching Fox. This one. This says there's a commercial break in process. Obviously, they're coming back with Hillary Clinton on that, and I don't give a shit about watching what she has to say. Every time I watch Hillary Clinton, raises my blood pressure, makes me angry. That sounded like a pro-Bernie crowd to me. Right? I like that. Now, somebody else, you guys, yeah, exactly. Fuck you. You guys watch Hillary if you want, and tell me what it was like. I am not going to watch it. I can't. It's bad for my health. Can't watch Hillary. Can't listen to her talk. Can't listen to her lie. But what we're waiting for here is somebody, Fox or not, to cover the rally. And I don't know that they're going to cover the rally. I'm just checking out. Let's see. Robin Morris is checking out Fox 17. It's just news reports and dead air. So we could do a couple things. I mean, Hillary's obviously going to take like a half hour, at least. How long was Bernie on? That was about a half hour. About a half hour. So we could. What are we going to do here? We could fill this half hour. We could come back in a half hour. I could play some videos. We got some interesting content. That TYT video that I didn't play. You guys want to do that? You want to hang out? I'm reading comments here. Reading comments. You let me know what you want to do. He had a standing ovation. I know. Bernie got them balls. Did you? Whoa, oh, I made a note. Hang on. What was my note? I made a note about something he said that just really. We have been waiting for him to say this. Maybe he said it before, but this is the first time I heard him say this, folks. He said, when Brett asked him, how are you going to get this mostly Republican Congress to work with you? He said two things, right? I want somebody find the exact quote. Somebody get the exact soundbite. I want to run this soundbite. I can run it. I can run 20, 30 seconds of the news. I just never have time to cut out segments. But I want to run this soundbite where he says, we're going to do this two ways, Brett. First, I work with Republicans. I've worked with them, John McCain, other Republicans, other sane Republicans. I just called John McCain a sane Republican. I want everybody to think back to the McCain days when we thought McCain was extreme. Yeah, we had no idea what was coming, right? We had no idea what extreme was. McCain, not so much. So anyway, here's McCain. Where was I going with? So he says, Bernie says, I work with people. So I know how to work with the Republicans. I've worked with some. They have respect for me, blah, blah. And basically going to tell them, this is what the people want. And if you either do what the people want, or you're going to learn what unemployment is like. I loved that. That's exactly what we're saying. We're going to move you out of your jobs if you don't do what the people say, because that's how it's supposed to work in a democracy. Brett. Now, he didn't say it in a condescending way to Brett. He's just like, that's how it's going to work. And the people cheered because it, honestly, and I say this, you guys will agree with me, it shouldn't matter who the president is. It shouldn't matter who the representatives are. They should be doing what the hell we tell them to do. That's their jobs, to do what we say, not what the hell they want, right? And that's all we're doing here, is bringing it back under the control of the people. Control of the people. That's all we're really asking for. Control of the people means businesses get taxed appropriately. Control of the people means our money, our tax dollars, the money that we generate as a nation goes to the things we want it to go to. So the answer to the question, how are we going to pay for this shit? Well, we're going to take the money out of things we don't want to spend money on anymore, like war. We're done spending money on war. That was what you guys like to spend money on. We'd like to spend money on education and science and space and the environment and shit that actually matters. We're done with war, all right? And if you don't like that, you're going to learn what unemployment is like. I love that. That's the answer. That's how we take care of our government. I see Hillary up there. I'm watching the Fox thing here, and I see Hillary up there, and I just can't. I can't. You guys let me know. You guys let me know. Survey says yes. Yes on what, Eddie? Yes what? Tell me yes what? Take down, or you comment on something else? I love that. What do you guys have to say? Let's see. Fuck Hillary. Yes, of course. Bloomberg not running until Bernie wins. You think? They're hitting Hillary on Libya. So tell me, are they hitting her hard? Should we listen to this? Should we talk? We could comment. We could commentary on that. No, I can't. I have to find a way to do that. I can't do it. Here's what I'm gonna do. You guys can watch that. I'm gonna take a burner, John. I'm gonna take a break for a second. I'm gonna run this video here that I wanted to run anyway. This is on how the media is desperately downplaying Bernie Sanders' surge, and this is Cenk Uygur and I don't know who else. Oh wait, Cenk Uygur and Wes Clark Jr., host of the Young Turk. Sorry, Wes, I didn't know who the hell you were. That's my ignorance right there. But I'm going to put this video on just for a second so I can check some things, and then we'll come back, keep the conversation going, and yeah, we'll do that, folks. So here you go.
The fact that he doesn't know everybody on the ground where the Clintons have been there for 20 years, et cetera. You got the biggest factor of all, name recognition. Everybody knows Hillary Clinton. And if you're not knee-deep in politics, almost no one knew Bernie Sanders, okay, when we started this process.
True.
We know him for 40, 50 years, but the overwhelming majority of American voters had no idea who Bernie Sanders was. To overcome that by itself is amazing. Yet add on top of that the entire Democratic establishment, not a little bit, not 60-40, the entire Democratic establishment, including the DNC, is clearly on Hillary Clinton's side. And then on top of that, you add all the media hates you, thinks you should be dismissed even before the voting begins, and finds it insane to even talk about you having a chance of winning, even though you closed a 50-point lead nationwide. Like, there's nothing you can do to get the media to say, oh, we should take Bernie Sanders seriously. With all of those disadvantages, Bernie Sanders somehow is still competitive, and this weekend has already won 2 out of 3 states, and tonight he might win 3 out of 4 states overall for the weekend. And so it's very fair to talk about Hillary Clinton's delegate lead. It's not at all fair to talk about our superdelegates. That is an undemocratic process that'll never stand, which leads me to point number 2, which is the media keeps counting superdelegates. Almost every count I see has superdelegates in it. But wait a minute, you must suck at your job, because how do you not know after covering politics all these years? For example, in 2008, dozens of Hillary Clinton's superdelegates, once Barack Obama won the voting, switched over and voted for Barack Obama because they're like, oh, that's nonsense. Obviously, I'm not going to vote for Hillary Clinton. Barack Obama won. So, yeah, I pledged for you. That was my show of support to you in the beginning, but we're not at the beginning. You lost, so I'm going to vote for Obama. That's what the superdelegates did in 2008. Not all of them, but a lot of them. So how can you count them? They haven't voted yet. Like, they vote at the end. So counting them ahead of time, it indicates you don't understand politics, or you are monumentally biased. And that bias, again, doesn't come from a cigar-filled room where they all conspire together. It comes from the fact that they're all in the same room. They're in that same bubble in Washington.
No, they have dinners together, lunch together. I mean, it was like that scandal over the weekend where they hacked into Trump's voicemail and you could hear all these journalists, left, right, ever. Hey, oh yeah, we're going to have lunch. We're going to do this. They like each other. They hang out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it works, and he's not a part of that. And it makes it that much harder for him to get any traction. Add to that you've got, look, we live in an oligarchy, and he's telling the people with money, I'm going to take some of your money away from you. Even bigger, because who's paying for all the advertising?
Given all of that, the distance that Bernie Sanders has made up, the number of states he has won, and sometimes the enormity of his victories in Kansas. This guy who had no chance and was given no chance won by 35 points last night. So given all of that, what he's done is nearly miraculous. And how does the media treat it? Instead of saying, wow, isn't that amazing? Even if he loses, wasn't that amazing? It's nothing. It's nothing. Move along here. Why doesn't he just get out already? God, this guy's so annoying. Part of the reason he's so annoying is because he's coming for them. He's coming for that oligarchy. If you think that the major media organizations, the top 6 organizations that own most of the media in America,
90%.
aren't part of the oligarchy, well, then you didn't get clued into what's happening here. They are part of that power structure. They love that power structure. They get their power and their wealth from that power structure. So, of course, they hate Bernie Sanders. So that's why they won't come on TV and go, wow, instead of, it's no big deal. We always knew it. He's here, the white states, the Bernie states, the weird states. We always knew it. I mean, what he's done is not interesting or important. Let's just make sure that he gets out of the race immediately. Gee.
Exactly. Let's make sure he gets out of the race immediately because he threatens our paychecks. He threatens our very livelihood. It's really scary, folks. Somebody said it to me earlier today. I don't know who it was. They said it's basically 1984. I want to say it was Bad Wolf Time Lady was talking. She said it reminds me of 1984. Maybe it was Jesse. I don't know. It is. I laugh because it reminds me of the Hunger Games. We don't quite have the crazy outfits, and we're not exactly arming different, groups, but we are pitting different sections of America against each other in a battle for survival. And we have this ridiculously elaborate establishment, some of them who look rather funny, like Donald Trump, and are scary. And this establishment is so disconnected and plays this game of survival with the rest of us. It really is amazing how much, in my opinion, there's a parallel there, and it's just really sad. But Jank is so true in what he says. If this were not a battle against the establishment, what Bernie Sanders has accomplished already, they would be singing his praises. The underdog of the century. They would be doing cover stories. Would be Lifetime movies. Hallmark would have made a fucking movie about this already. Right? But the media recognizes this is the death of their control. This is the death of the propaganda machine. This is the opening of our government to the people. The reopening. The transparency movement of our government. It's what we want to see. Checking out your comments, guys. What do we got going on? We got people still working the comments. Am I like way behind in the comments at this point? I probably am. I could start scrolling this stuff. Here we go. Sorry. Oh, no, we're up here now. There we go. Start from there. And I'm going to say this. Kudos to Fox, because sadly, Bernie was respected more on Fox tonight than he has been in all of the other debates, right? You guys are watching. I really want to play that. I'm gonna. Okay, so this is cool. I'm listening to her. I'm listening to Hillary right now, but it looks like with the current setup, you guys can't hear. So you can't hear me watching Hillary. We can watch Hillary together. This works. The question is who's responsible for Libya? Is that what's going on? Who's responsible for marking? Oh, she's tap dancing. That's what you guys were saying. She's tap dancing. How fun! How fun for that. That's awesome. My favorite Republican is Theodore Roosevelt too. Here's a good Republican. You're absolutely right. Right. That's a good point, Gloria Glenn. Superdelegates didn't switch over to Obama until late. Okay, remember, we got the late game, folks. We need to stay as ahead as possible. We have the late game. We absolutely have the late game. Eddie's telling me that Hillary's now pandering to abortion, saying she's neutral. How can you be neutral? How can you be neutral? What is fucking neutral with abortion? I don't even understand. Folks, we did a law. We're done. Okay? The government has no right messing with women's bodies. The government has no right messing with anything like that. So it just needs to be done. It comes out of a... Bernie is just being Bernie. He absolutely is. That comes out of a male-dominated, idiotic history that we need to eliminate. We need to eliminate all this male domination. It's absolute bullshit in a modern era. It's embarrassing. It's sad. Sad and embarrassing. Hillary got some claps. What did she get some claps for, folks? Oh, I love United Way. How do you anticipate getting anything done in Washington when compromise is a bad word? Well, that's why we use millions of dollars to pass between our foundation and other nations and countries. That's why we use what's called the establishment method, and we make everybody rich. That's how we get things done. I'm going to switch over to overhead, guys. So now you got me actually listening to what she has to say, which is worrisome. All right. There we go. So this is easier for me because we can listen. I can look at your comments, and then I don't feel like I'm an idiot with you looking at my face, not doing anything. And what we're waiting for, folks, is to find an actual feed of Bernie at the rally because we'd rather hear him speak. And I think what's going to happen is Fox is going to cover Bernie's speech. We may not get any of the music, unfortunately, but we should get the speech. Who's she going to pick as a favorite Republican? No, she brought up names. Exactly. Exactly, Zox. Our founders created a system where the wealthy could corrupt it. Like me. Everybody's doing it. It's all the rage. That makes me want to play Lie, Cheat, Steal. Killer Mike. We're going to tap dance around the crime bill. Did you hear that? What is it? What is your plan? I love that. That had to be a burner yelling that out. I don't recall her being interested in debt-free tuition until Bernie started talking about it. So, how many of Bernie's plans is Hillary going to adopt as her own to make herself look progressive? I'm sorry, conservative. I'm sorry, moderate. What is she? Ooh. So does this work for you guys if every once in a while I jump in here with a comment because she pisses me off? Or does this bug the shit out of you? Great chat conversation, guys. I wish I could type fast enough to keep up. All right. Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Ted. All right, good. I'll make a comment every once in a while. It's a hell of a lot more fun for me. Glad to be here with y'all. How do you go after prescription drug costs as Hillary Clinton when you helped those people make shit tons of money? When pharma companies give you a good portion of your campaign funds, how are you going to go after those costs and still be friends? We need to get more nonprofits? Both of you are bringing people into the process? I don't think so, Hillary. You only started saying you were for us, Hillary, once you realized that you kept saying I all the time. She wants to build up our belief in the establishment again so that they really don't have to change much. Senator Sanders is an ally because he has the entire younger generation behind him and the majority of the American people. What, when did it become everything is Senator Sanders and I? When did they become married with Hillary? Senator Sanders and I are doing such great things. Senator Sanders and I are doing this. What the hell? Is she going to ride coattails on Obama or coattails on Senator Sanders? Both? The VP question is an insult to Bernie and everybody who follows Bernie. That is a scary statement, JS Tube 36. Debbie Wasserman Schultz will be her VP. Yucky. Icky, icky, icky. Eddie's going to join me in the production environment. That's awesome. Well, that was cool. I, I'm impressed with the way Fox handled that too. I can't believe I'm saying that. I actually said that. Maybe the standard is just so low at this point. I'm like, wow, Fox News formed real words, spoke English, talked normal, asked decent questions. I don't know. It's just, yeah, I think the bar is low. I think the bar is really low. So anyway, now we're waiting on, I got Fox 17 pulled up here. And if any of you guys can find a local feed, that's what I'm looking for. There should be, I hope, a local feed coming from this event. There's supposed to be music, concert. Bernie's supposed to speak. I'm guessing they're going to wrap up on this special report here. let's see. Oh, see, they're already repeating stuff. So shit, I don't know. If anybody can find a feed, anybody can find something, we'll use it. We'll pull on it. We'll run that. Really want to see Bernie speak tonight after the debate. He was definitely on fire. I thought, or debate forum, whatever the hell we're going to call it. Definitely did a great job. I want to hear what you guys have to say about I guess they really hit her hard on Libya, and I didn't have, they hit Hillary on the foreign affairs stuff, which I find kind of funny. It's like, oh, Hillary's got better foreign affairs experience. Yeah, if you consider, selling weapons of war all around the world, selling fracking all around the world, creating ISIS, causing war and death around the world. She has tons more experience than Bernie Sanders at all of those things. I absolutely agree with everybody that says I am so glad that my choice for president does not have a lot of foreign affair experience causing wars, signing off on wars, selling weapons abroad, selling fracking around the world, selling trade deals around the world even when nobody wants the trade deals. Do you know that Hillary sold a trade deal to Brazil, didn't want it? Brazil didn't want that. She's done so much damage ecologically through trade deals and through her arms dealing. She really was an arms dealer. So I'm watching Fox 17 now. They're talking about wait. Vote information. Let's see. Maybe not. I can't tell right now. They got people. So hang on, folks. Let's listen to what these guys have to say. So they just showed Fox 17 showing a reporter with the Future to Believe in background. So they're at the Bernie rally. It didn't look like there was a lot of people there yet, so they may still be loading in. I'm told that Bernie is not going to speak for another hour. All right? So we're at 4 o'clock. What we're doing here, folks, is trying to decide whether we cut off here, which we could. We could stop. I could create a new event. Or we just hang on here and run videos, chat with each other for an hour, and hope that we have a stream that's carrying Bernie when it comes up. So I'm game to do whatever you guys want to do. You tell me what you would like to do. I can run another video. We can chat about it. Anybody who's prepped and trained who wants to come into the live production environment and carry on a conversation or be a comment mod, or anybody that's comment modding in there. I don't even know. Do we have anybody left comment modding? Let's see. Let's check out the lower thirds. Anyone? Maybe. I can't tell. If I'm getting behind the ball, I apologize, guys. Here, I'll start him running again. Although I'm pretty sure I got through some of these. But let's chill. You want to hang out and chill? Doors opened at 4 p.m. Eastern. That's exactly right, Ski Vermont. What we're trying to find out is when they're going to actually give us some footage. I got nothing coming from the web. Find me a feed. Find me a Periscope. Find me something. That lets us watch this. Tell you what we're going to do. Here's something I wanted to play. I've been wanting to play this piece for a couple of days. I've got a couple things I want to play. Here's what we can do. Yeah, I spoke when I spoke. Here's what I want to do. I want to show you a couple pieces, couple things that I never remember. So a volunteer, somebody from around the world sent us this beautiful 3D logo graphic. I'm going to run it right now. Now, I haven't had a chance to incorporate it with anything. It's just this beautiful graphic, but I want to show everybody what it is. So here you go. This is incredible. Right? Now, they use the official Bernie logo, which I'm not really supposed to use, but this is badass. So I just want to show everybody because I keep forgetting, and I forget who it was that sent this in, but thank you for sending it in. It's badass. Really appreciate that. So there you go, Bernie 2016 TV Live. Isn't that badass? That makes us look official and stuff. That's really cool. I like that. But what else is it going to show you? There's that. All right, so what I'm going to do right now is run this. This is Burn Notice. Ed. Burn Notice sent this in. It's done on March 5th, and it's identity politics. This is important. This is a good time to watch this. And let's take a look at this. A 4.5-minute video. Learn about identity politics from Burn Notice.
Watch the world burn. How do you identify yourself? If I walked up to you right now and asked you to describe yourself, most, including myself at times, will reference a physical characteristic. I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm white, I'm Hispanic, I'm black, I'm Asian, I'm Native American. Some will identify with a social role. They will say I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim, I'm an atheist, I'm spiritual, I'm agnostic, I'm gay, I'm straight. Other times we reference our roles in society. I'm a mother, I'm a father, I'm a teacher, I'm a welder, I'm a custodian, I'm unemployed. Then there's political identity. I'm progressive, I'm liberal, I'm conservative, I'm independent, I'm a radical. Sometimes it's generational. I'm Generation X, I'm a millennial, I'm a boomer. Regardless of how you fit in the previous categories, these aren't the identities that really matter. That's not to say that they aren't an important part of who you are or describe how you view life. It's simply not the identity that truly matters in the grand scheme of things. Despite what you think, there are only two identities that truly matter. There are those with wealth and political power, then there's everyone else. We've been so wrapped up in identity politics that we've lost sight of what really matters. And it doesn't help that the corporate media and politicians as a whole have masterfully manipulated our sense of identity. I don't care what race, what religious viewpoint, what generation, what societal role, or what gender or sexual preference you identify as. At the end of the day, it still doesn't mean shit. The important fact is any single subgroup or individual person has zero power. We fight amongst ourselves over who has the right idea of what God is or isn't. We battle amongst ourselves over turf in our neighborhoods and cities. We fight amongst ourselves over how much of the pie our subgroups should get. And for what? Millions of us are fighting over crumbs, while a select few gorge on the banquet of wealth and privilege, and we fool ourselves into thinking we have a chance at being one of them. To them, we're pawns. To them, we're nobody. They don't give one single solitary fuck about any of us because we're too busy fighting amongst ourselves to pay attention to how the Bushes, the Clintons, the Trumps, the Wasserman Schultz, the Kochs, the Adelsons, and the Soroses, and any other plutocrats are raking us over the coals. And all the while, they're laughing their asses off because they think we're too stupid to wise up and see them for what they truly are. It's time to stop lying to ourselves. There are only two identities that ultimately matter above all else. They're the plutocrats and the wage slaves. And the plutocrats don't give a damn about your color, your religion, your political affiliation, or any of that. To them, we're all just a hired help. It's time we, the average citizen, stop fighting each other and for once come together against the elitists. It's all of us versus them. And it's a game we can only win if we do so together. It's not about what happened in the past anymore. It's about those of us who are still here doing something about it. It's your time now. Make it count for something.
If it's equality you want, so be it. When House Tyrell stops sending our crops to the capital, everyone here will starve. And I'll make sure the hungry know who's to blame.
Have you ever sowed the field, Lady Olenna? Have you ever reaped the grain? Was anyone in House Tyrell? A lifetime of wealth and power has left you blind in one eye. You are the few. We are the many. And when the many stop fearing the few,
some men.
Badass. Badass burn notice. Great ending there. That's true. That's all Bernie is really saying. When the people realize that we have all the power, we hold all the power. We are the many. They are the few. They are the few, greedy, rich fucks. And we are the people. And we are going to take back this country with love, with kindness, sometimes with some force in places where we need to use it. Don't think this is all going to go quietly. All right? But We're going to clean up our country. We're going to fix this nation. We are going to right our democracy. We have a lot of repairs to make. We have a lot of apologies to make. We have a lot of forgiveness to do between all of us. Something that you guys might not be aware of, and I'm gonna go off on a few topics here while we wait to see if we can't find, wait to see what Fox is doing with the feed. Give me 1 second. I just want to pull this up, see what's running here. Just want to see what's running on Fox 17. Here's the problem, folks. If I was just thinking about this, my logic and thought is not working. When I go to live video from Fox 17, which is the only local feed I'm aware of, it's basically an overpass somewhere in West Michigan. It's a lovely overpass, and it doesn't have a lot of traffic right now, just to let you all know. But I don't actually know if they're going to show anything. If the Fox National feed is just going to go to Bernie Sanders and carry Fox National, I can't use that. I can't actually use that. What, Eddie? I wouldn't worry about Eddie. I got audio coming out. Yes, I know. There's a reason for that. Oh, you're in the hangout with me, Eddie. Hey, how you doing there? Hang on a second. Let me fix this if I can find the right hangout interface. Sorry, guys. Give me a moment. Got to fix something going on with the hangout. Oh, I know why. I know why. So what I do is this is a separate camera feed, Eddie. You can't hear me because I'm not even in the hangout, my friend. Give me 1 second, folks. Give me 1 second. We'll go there. So what I was saying, my logistical error here is that I'm not going to be able to. I'm not going to be able to carry the feed. All right. Because. Hang on, Eddie. I'm just checking for you. Can you hear me now? Can you unmute Eddie and say hey? Should be able to hear me. There you are. Nobody can hear it. You guys can't hear Eddie. I have that on a separate channel. But Eddie's in here with me, folks. I can't use the Fox National feed if that's the one covering Bernie Sanders, is what I was trying to say. Now, if it's the local feed covering it, we'll carry it. Otherwise, we're going to sit here for an hour and just have some fun. And so I got to verify that. So, Eddie, if you could verify that. The Fox 17 that I'm looking at right now may carry it. So I'll just leave it at that. Anyway, I was going to talk a little bit about, this is what I was going to do. So we've got 139, 140 people watching right now. Thank you for being here. We're just killing some time before we get Bernie Sanders. I had no idea that they were going to smash these two events together. We just watched Bernie do a brilliant discussion on Fox News, which seemed to carry the forum rather well. And we watched Hillary pander around her foreign affair experience, selling arms around the world. But I wanted to talk about repair and about restorative justice, which is something that before Bernie Sanders announced, I was doing a special on, and I think this is a good time where I can run these. Nope, let's go down here. Yeah. I know I got a lot of comments to get through, folks. I really appreciate you making the comments, and I'm hitting it back in there, guys. Comment moderators, if you're still around, we're diving back into the comment mod, and I'm marking the spot. Okay, so I appreciate you all being here. We're gonna and if you want to highlight questions for me on the comment sheet, I will be happy to check the comment sheet on a regular basis and address questions, but it's hard for me to determine comments between that. And thank you, Vivian, for liking my commentary. That's a new thing. We may do that more on the debates. It's more fun for me just to come in with like an MST3K comment every once in a while. I don't know how many of you out there know what restorative justice is. But it's a process that was not exactly when it was created. Africa used restorative justice when they were rebuilding their nation after apartheid. And it basically is an approach that doesn't, it's not about punitive. It's not about imposing punishment for wrongs. It's a way of dealing with justice that is restorative. That's the point, all right? When somebody does something wrong in society, you don't want to ostracize them from society. I mean, in general, obviously, if there's some kind of there's obviously people in this world that are going to be insane, or that are dangerous, that we need to keep out of the way of other people. But for the most part, like somebody smoking a joint, right? Somebody who does a burglary, right? And usually burglaries happen because somebody's poor or somebody is an addict. Right? There's a reason for these things. So something like that happens. Kids being mischievous, right? Doing dumb shit. Things like this, the way these can be handled with restorative justice is very different than the way they are handled today in our punitive legal system. And we're going to need to change our legal system in order for us to heal as a nation. Africa said this. They said, in order for us to heal as a nation, we need to forgive everybody. We need to forgive everybody. That doesn't mean that the guy who went around and shot up 30 people in a theater gets forgiven and gets released. That's not what that means. That means that we forgive each other and we move on. We forgive each other and we move on with the agreement that we are changing things. We are changing our justice system. And restorative justice, if you want to look at a model that works, Bernie did very well in Town Hall. You're absolutely right, Mooney. If you want to look at a model that works and works well and has actually set precedent around the world, look at Longmont, Colorado. And eventually I'm going to have Mike Butler and Dan Benavidez from Longmont, Colorado on the newsroom. And they will talk about how they have transformed their community with the help of a lot of people. And they do what's called a belonging revolution. But there's a bunch of different pieces there. Longmont, Colorado is a grassroots up creation of restorative justice practices. Restorative justice is a process by which you include the community, the justice system, the law enforcement justice system, the victim, and the offender together in a discussion that heals everybody in the process. That's what restorative justice is. Okay? It's not, here's a victim, here's an offender, here's a judge, and now let's see who wins. Right? There's no win or loss here. The idea is to help the offender understand what they've done, help the victim understand what's going on and be validated by the offender. And in the end, everybody comes away feeling better about it. Now, does it work? Fuck yeah, it works. Across the United States of America, our recidivism rate for crime is 67% on average, and much, much higher for minorities, right? Much, much higher when you get into different socioeconomic areas. In Longmont, for more than 10 years, it has been 10% or less. They've had it at 7% at times. This is for youth and adults. It was so good for this long that in 2014, Colorado made it a law. They said, holy shit, Longmont is badass. We're going to institute this statewide. So let's make it law. All right? Which is badass. That's badass. The problem that they had, and I'm giving you a short version of this, okay? The problem that they had with implementing it statewide like they did is they took Longmont's model and they gave them a bunch of money and they went to Boulder County and they said, okay, now implement your model with Boulder County. Well, Boulder County is highfalutin, academic, stuffy, establishmenty. No offense, Boulder County. No offense, Boulder government, but you are. You know you are. Academic, stuffy stuffs. Okay. And what they said was, we don't want to follow the Longmont model. We don't want to do what they say. We want to do it our way. We're going to go it top down. We're going to write legislation. We're going to change some of this. We're going to do it our way. And you know what happened? It was a complete and utter failure. A failure to the point where the board, the executor on the board of the Longmont Community Justice Partnership, which was in charge of creating the larger involvement with Boulder, quit. Several people left. And because of the disaster and cost, Longmont lost a ton of money. They've had to shut down they've had to lose people because of it. Because Boulder County and their arrogance, their establishment politician arrogance, couldn't do it from a grassroots up movement like Longmont did it. So we need to prepare for this, folks. We need to prepare for this kind of idiocy. It's not just at the federal level that we need to change establishment. It's at the local and state where these counties, these establishment elitists county officials, state officials don't get it. And they're just looking at it as another way to put some money in their pockets, right? The restorative justice process works when it's implemented correctly, which means it starts with the community, it's built by the community, and the government is there to be a holder of, a steward of the process, not the person with the control on the button, all right? So I just want to say that the reason I'm going into all of that is because we need to prepare for these kind of changes, these kind of shifts. Our justice system needs to be updated for the 21st century, right? To stop being such a punitive thing, to work more like those socialist, pinko, commie countries who actually rehabilitate and reintegrate offenders, right? You don't want to ostracize these people and make the problem worse. We want to love them. What did you do wrong? How can we repair the wrong? How can we heal the issue for the community, for the victim, and for the offender? Why did the offender commit that offense? And how can we help them get on the path so that they don't commit another offense? That is law enforcement. That is the essence of restorative justice. Restore the justice, move on, build the community together. Right? That's what we're going to have. That's what we're going to have. I'm really just trying to get through all these brilliant comments that you guys have been dropping in here. There's so many comments, and I wasn't even close to being done with them. And we're doing good. Did you all donate to Tim Canova yet? That's a good question. Did you all donate to Tim? That needs to happen. Oh, I've been missing messages. What do we got here? Eddie's showing me a screenshot of something cool. I hope it's something cool. Michigan Democratic presidential primary right now on the HuffPost shot. This looks like the HuffPost pollster. It's currently showing Hillary 57, Bernie 39. I think that's BS. I think that's BS. I really do. I think there are other polls coming out that say different, but I understand that that's an average. Oh, what are you showing me now? He's got another one. California. Now, this one is interesting. California Democratic presidential primary, and I don't know when California does their thing, but showing Hillary at 46, Bernie at 35. And that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I know we're gonna get that closer. The face you put when you realize your typo was broadcast live. Nice, nice. I hate it when I do a tweet and I'm all like excited about the tweet and the headline, and I push down and realize I spelled something wrong or put the wrong thing in there, or it's the wrong link or whatever. I hate that. I do that all the time. I delete a lot of those. All right, let's check in with this Fox 17. Do I still have my overpass? Anybody find a different feed yet? Anybody got feed action going on? What are you guys doing out there? I don't know about the rest of you. I'm in Portland, Oregon. Sun's going down, getting to late night. Colorado 2015, 196. Is that the final? Is that the final number? Colorado 2015. I never seen this. $996 million in marijuana revenue. $135 million in tax revenue for marijuana. That's badass. Who's still watching? Get off Fox. There's nothing going on Fox. Stop watching that shit. It's gonna kill your brain. Don't watch that stuff. It's bad for you. It's bad for you. Get off Fox. I have to grab this other tab here. Yikes, where did it go? Oh, there it is. Watch Fox 7. Here we go. I have a different, so I have two Fox 17s, folks. I have one that is showing the overpass, and I have another one that keeps showing commercials. So they've got two things going on. And I'm just going to drop this here. I'm going to drop this one. They keep running a reel. I'm going to drop this one for you guys right now, because this is the one I'm thinking. This is the link that I'm just putting in that I think is going to bring us Bernie Sanders. That's the one I'm hoping for. All right. This other one, I don't think so. I think this is just their. I think that's just their overpass. They really like that overpass. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Hang on one second, guys. I have to do some feed manipulation here. I know this isn't very exciting to look at me at all. I don't know. I watch. I don't know how somebody could just do like be that they're the only face you see for that long. It's very hard for me to do.
Sometimes appeared on screen
I have to cut into videos.
together, including in one film.
All right, so they're doing a Nancy Reagan thing right now. That's what they're doing, Nancy Reagan thing. I want to debate in New York City. Yeah, interesting, New York City. Bernie's got that locked up, right? Hillary was a senator in New York City, but she really doesn't have a lot of friends there, it seems, unless they're friends on Wall Street. We know she's got plenty of friends on Wall Street. That's for sure. That's for sure. All right, we got this. I'm going to kill this. What are we going to run here? What are we going to run? Let's run something. Here's what we're going to run. Tim Canova. You guys just mentioned Tim Canova and donating. Go there now. Go donate for Tim. He's got a battle ahead of him, and we want that guy taking Debbie Wasserman Schultz's job. This is exactly what Bernie was talking about when we say you either do it our way or you're going to lose your job. So we need Florida to show up and get rid of Debbie Wasserman Schultz so that Tim Canova can take her job. And what we're going to do is we're going to run this video. This is a 10-minute piece, which will give me enough time to get a new cup of tea. All right? Kind of stressed. You love my face. Thank you, Judy. That's awesome. I've never. Wow. I have never before in my life dealt with this kind of back and forth live thing. It is cool, and it definitely comes with some serious responsibility, which I talked about earlier, and I am learning the hard way how to be a responsible on-air show host. So don't go look at the early newsrooms. Ooh. Anyway, we're going to watch this. Tim Canova. And this is Bernie Sanders' Revolution Begins in Miami. It's a 10-minute clip. We're just going to watch the whole thing because this looks like a blast. And I'm going to put it in this. All right, here we go, folks. Enjoy.
I've been running for 8 weeks. We've had this campaign going for 8 weeks. We've got more than 12,000 individual contributions. Debbie is going to be feeling the burn. Okay, thank you for being here. Don't forget about our campaign after March 15th. Our primary date is August 30th. We need the Bernie Army to come and be ground troops in our fight against Debbie Wasserman Schultz this spring and summer. Feel the bird!
Down with Debbie. I am tired of the things the establishment is supporting. There we go. I have endorsed Bernie because he has the same platforms I do. Universal health care. I'm a doctor. I always have seen people with no insurance, no poor people. They don't get coverage. They get nothing. It is time to change that. We need to increase the minimum wage. We need to give people a chance to profit again, to prosper, and to do well. Like we all remember, hope and opportunity, that's what it's about. If we give people hope and offer them the opportunity to achieve, we will have the best country ever. We must get rid of money out of politics. It is wrong. Just like Bernie, I do not take super PAC money. It is wrong. I am beholding to you. I am not beholding to corporations or the rich. The rich are rich enough. I am tired of them buying our country. We need to stop that, and that is why I am for Bernie Sanders. But remember, if Bernie does not get a Congress to support his views, then he can't do very much, just like our president has not been able to do what he has wanted to do. So we must also support people like myself, Tim Canova, Alan Grayson, progressives, who are going to go to D.C. and take the trash out. Thank you. Please go to my website, Alina Valdez with an S for Congress.com. Let's support true progressives. Thank you.
I want to tell you something. Bernie has already won. In less than a year, Bernie has started to redefine words that have been used by conservatives and Republicans to hoodwink the people, brainwash them. The fear of socialism, the fear of progressivism, the fear even of moderateness. They have turned the word moderate into a bad word. Hillary has had to move to the left because of Bernie. Now she opposes the Trans-Pacific Partnership. Now she opposes the Keystone XL pipeline. Now she favors the Iran nuclear deal. Now she favors raising the minimum age to $15 an hour. She wanted 13 before. And she has repudiated the Iraq war. Bernie has started a movement that is going to go on no matter what happens in this election. Bernie has started a genuine revolution that we must keep going no matter what happens in this election. We must understand what is extremism and what is being a moderate, what is being a progressive. I want to ask you something. To advocate for Medicare for all, is that extremist? No! To end perpetual war and military adventurism, is that extremist? No! To try diplomacy first, is that extremist? No! To make the super rich pay their fair share of taxes, is that extremist? No! To provide a free education to our young people, is that extremist? No! To reform the so-called criminal justice system, is that extremist? No! To defend the rights of African Americans, Latinos, LGBT, and other minorities, is that extremist? No! To have comprehensive immigration reform with a path to citizenship, is that extremist? No!
our grandchildren and our grandchildren and children depend on it. That's what she said. This is about the survival of the planet, folks. A lot of people think this is just an election cycle, and I wish we could wake everybody up. We're waiting here for Fox right now. I'm watching Fox 17. We've got a few more minutes. I want to read what the Bernie Sanders website says about tonight's event. And yeah, Florida kicking some ass. I saw you guys' comments about Tim Canova being a badass, and listen to they're out there soapboxing that one guy just reading through the list of stuff. Is this radical? No. Is this radical? No. This is what the people want. The only people that think it's radical are the establishment politicians, the establishment media, and those uninformed American voters who are connected to the establishment propaganda. That's all. The rest of the people know that what we want is common fucking sense. That's all. Common sense. We want our money spent on us, not on F-35s. We want our money spent on us, not on exorbitant military runs around the world, not on fracking. Our money spent on us. That's all we're asking for, government, right? Not put back in the hands of Halliburton. Not stuffed back into Hillary Clinton's foundation through illegal means, right? Not stuffed into the Caymans. I want ExxonMobil liquidated, tried for crimes against humanity. I want all of the money out of ExxonMobil returned to the people because they have knowingly fucked us for 40 years. And I want that money spent on building a renewable energy grid for the globe. That would be justice served to ExxonMobil. That's what I want to see. Just so you guys know, we're waiting for that feed. And we are going to hopefully bring you Bernie. But let me tell you what's going on tonight. I know I'm bouncing all over the freaking place. I get the environment is the key, folks. I understand that we have a lot of issues. And I know that income inequality is what we need to deal with because the wealthy run our country. And those that have the wealth have the power, and that's what we are usurping right now. This is no different than the French Revolution. This is no different than the original American Revolution. This is no different than any goddamn revolution. We have a government that has abused its power and put rich people in power, and they control the game, and now the people are many, they are few, we are pissed, and we're changing our government. Hopefully, using the system, but we already have to go outside of the system because the system is rigged against us. So that's why I go off. And the environment, even though income inequality in our government, our corrupt government is what we need to fix, we need to look at the bigger picture globally. We got a planet that is not going to be habitable in 40 years. Will not be habitable. And that's, I don't want to live on a planet. We are 2 degrees above norm. 2 degrees Celsius above norm now. That is a marker that scientists and nations around the world said, oh, we're going to do our best to never reach that mark. We've hit it, folks. Congratulations. Congratulations. So every single fucking measure and plan that they talk about environmentally is not enough. It will not be enough. And we don't even know what the damage is yet to come, because the fact that we've reached that level means we've got a long way to go to actually see the damage to be done from it. Okay? It's not an immediate cause and effect like we see all the time on the internet. This is our planet. It's going to take some time to show us just how badly we have fucked it. All right. But let's talk about something maybe less depressing. How about the actual rally tonight? This is what we're doing. This is what we're trying to bring you. If it ends up showing up on a feed that we can use, is this right here, folks. Ann Arbor, Michigan, Get Out the Vote rally and concert. And I wanted to read who's going to be there. So it says, join Bernie Sanders for Get Out the Vote rally and concert in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Democratic presidential candidate will rally supporters in Ann Arbor and host a concert featuring the Grammy Award-winning Nate Ruess of Fun. And I've probably heard Fun, but have no idea what songs they are. That just means I'm getting old. But I used to be pretty up in the music biz, so I'm interested in hearing what songs they do. And the Detroit-based band Junior Junior. Sanders will discuss a wide range of topics. Well, we all know his topics. He's a one-issue candidate. What did he say today? The one issue he has is the disappearing middle class. He said that last night to Hillary Clinton, right? Disappearing middle class, Hill, that you helped decimate. You helped decimate with your trade agreements. Hey, Michigan, are you listening? Michigan, we need you to show up tomorrow. I'm going to be streaming as long as I can, supporting you, Michigan. We need you to show up and show everybody how much you feel the burn and are not interested in having an establishment candidate continue to screw you. Okay? Please, please, Michigan, go find everybody you know, your neighbors, your friends that are not connected to the internet, your friends that are watching CNN and Fox News right now, and get them on the internet. Get them to listen to a Bernie speech. All it really takes is to listen to a Bernie speech to wake them up. Just have them do that. Just one time, just once. Can you just listen to one Bernie stump speech for me, please? Once, in its entirety. Please. That's all you need. We have tons of them already recorded on our site. There's tons of them on BernieSanders.com or the Bernie Sanders site on YouTube. BernieSanders.com has links that'll take you off to other media. Watch a Bernie speech. That should be it. Watch a Bernie speech with somebody not connected to the internet. That's what I want you to do. Tonight, go pull it. Call them up. If you're in Michigan and you've got a friend who's not connected to the internet and they watch establishment media, like, I can't wait to turn on Fox News and watch Fox News tonight. Call them up and say, I'd like to invite you over. I'd like to bribe you with beer, with pizza, with whatever it is you want, my friend, because we're gonna watch a Bernie Sanders speech together. And then we're gonna talk about it. That's what I want you to do. Now, and phone bank and do all the other things the Bernie Sanders campaign is asking you to do, because we got to do those things. But hopefully, the drummer for fun. I'm sorry, I'm switching back to comments now, folks. I should be showing these up. I should be putting these up. I'm terrible. Holy shit, you guys are making comments. Jeez. Damn. Okay. We want justice by any means for who? And by any means meaning what? See, I got to be careful with that too, because a lot of times there are a lot of people I would just want to. Yeah. All right. I can't go there. I'm supposed to be non-violent. We got to promote non-violent methods until we have no choice. But I saw something up here. Where was it? Who did you say? The drummer. What were we talking about? The drummer. This is Taking the Fall 71. It says, John, the drummer for Fun was also in that band that made the song Bernie is a Punk. Oh, really? Seriously? Okay. What else do I need to know about Fun? Let's get that. You know what? I'm just going to make this statement out here. In the early times of Bernie 2016 TV, we were really trying to do music shows. And I wanted to organize a bunch of Bernie musicians, get them together, do a live concert. And we've tried to do a few things, okay? But if there is a band out there that has original music, I will work with you. And you've got good Bernie songs like this Bernie is a Punk or any of these bands. My engagement broadcast system can provide a means for us to do a live concert from wherever you guys are. Set it up. We'll jack into your board, bring in live audio, a couple webcams set up, and we can do a live broadcast concert from your garage, your studio, your basement, wherever you happen to be, a bar if you guys got a place to play. If you are a venue like that, I'd love to work with you to do that. And we can work together, set up the audio, and do like a real like music for Bernie kind of thing. I can facilitate that with this system, and I would love to do that. And we've tried. The problem we get into is when anybody plays, if you know, it has to be people playing the music. If it's bands playing the music live, great. We can play anything, any cover tune, any song of theirs, right? If it's recorded music, that's where I get into trouble sometimes, right? So that's why I want to work with them. So anyway, just wanted to throw that out there. I would love to do a music thing. I would love to collaborate more with any other creatives that want to come on and do stuff like this. I look over and Fox 17 is discussing the weather, folks. Riveting information. 55 degrees in West Michigan right now. Is that what I'm reading? Let's see. I don't know. Still looking, still waiting, still hoping. Anything coming from live production? Eddie, are you in here with me? You are. What's going on, Eddie? Anybody find any streams? All right, thank you. Eddie's got some noise going on at the house. His parents are always got it rocking. No wonder you want to put your headphones on and listen in here. Sounds pretty noisy over there, my friend. Hill is delusional. Yes, she is. Bernie will win Illinois. Why do you say, John Fraser? I hope so too. I think so too. I think he's got very, very strong support there. Very strong support. I think he will win. Too much PCBS. They're artists and musicians for Bernie. Facebook group. Live on ABC News. ABC News is really? We got live on ABC News? JMR 505. You did Spanish subs. Listen, Spanish. I really want to incorporate Spanish. I got to talk. We can do some things. We can do some live translation. We can do some live overdub. I can sync I can syndicate this to 2 separate channels, one Spanish, one English. Like if somebody wants to be a permanent, like translate to Spanish for me, work with me, I'd love to do that. There were a couple people that put it in there and wanted to talk to me about it, but we never really connected. I need you to get into the Slack production environment so I can work with you, because I really have a lot of shit going on. But I would love to bring more of Bernie to the Latino community. So please, anybody that wants to work with me, I've offered to do a full Spanish show. Right? Let's just do a show that is designed to reach the Latino demographic. All right? So anybody out there wants to do that, let's do it. Let's do it. It's the way this works. John, can you please explain to me what a delegate is? AZTCCK, Aztec CK. Sure. So here's how this goes. More news coming up in minutes. I don't want more news in minutes, Fox 17. I want something good. What time are we at? 4:48. Okay, we're coming up. We're close. We're coming up close. Delegate. A delegate is a person that represents a larger group of people. So we do caucuses, primaries, and I'm not going to explain this like fully all the way, and I'm sure some of the shit I'm going to say doesn't make a lot of sense, but there's delegates and there's super delegates. Super delegates are bullshit. They were created to kind of like have control over the people's vote. Delegates are supposed to be representative of the people's vote. So the delegates go from local to county delegates to state delegates, and that's where we have the big national primary, and we choose from all of the delegate counts. And so basically what you're looking at is you have to reach a certain number of delegates. Hey, CPU is running over 95%. That's not good. That's not good. Why do we have that going on? Let's kill this, see if we can't fix that. It does that occasionally. It's not happy with me right now, folks. I apologize. I'm going to pull down the comments. Oh, no, there it goes. There we go. Are we back up again? Let's see. Yeah. Sorry, the computer was being not happy with me, but so that's how delegates work. Now Hillary has to reach a certain number. Let's take a look at this. I have this page up here that we can look at what's going on and talk about delegate count. Now, if Scott were in here, he would be correcting me all over the place. I am absolutely certain. But this is my abridged version of reality. Right now, these are the delegate counts. Hillary Clinton has 677. Sanders has 478. Now, lots of people, and it's incorrect to do so, are adding the super delegate count on that. And super delegates, well, they're illegal, really. They shouldn't count, okay? And the Democratic National Committee includes 712 super delegates, all right, that basically the super delegates shouldn't exist. Super delegates get 2 votes. Okay? They get 2 votes. They count as 2. And they're politicians and whatnot. They're elitists. They're basically the 1%. They're elitists who get to keep their jobs simply because who they are, all right? And so Hillary has to get like 2,000 something of the delegates, or some particular number of the delegates, to say she wins the Democratic primary. That's 2,000 delegate votes that are representative of the larger caucus votes and primary votes that happened all across the country. Okay, it's an antiquated system. It's bullshit. And what we really need is a one-person, one-vote system. And we have the technology to do that. Other countries do a one-person, one-vote system. The whole fact that we have like the Electoral College and delegates and super delegates is just an establishment government doing everything it can to fuck our system up so much that it's very difficult for us to put a politician in office that we actually want in office. That's how it's designed. That they have so many ways they can screw the vote and make it look like the vote hasn't been screwed, that they have control over the game. That's our rigged election process. It's a bunch of bullshit. So that's the basis of how delegates work. Is they're supposed that, and the reason, if anybody says why did we create delegates and representatives in the first place, well, it's because we didn't have technology back in the 1800s, 1700s, early 1900s. We didn't have technology that allowed us to make decisions, to make choices quickly as a nation, right? Today, we can. Today, we can all vote, send our votes in. Everybody can know. We can get that quickly. We can do that quickly, not even with using the computers, right? There's no reason for delegates, super delegates. There's no reason for any of that bullshit. There's no reason for the Electoral College. None. Whatso-fucking-ever. One person, one vote. The popular vote decides. End of fucking story. That's how it should be now. That is not how it is, all right? Did I just read that? Yeah, they are an affront to our democracy. They're just a part of the rig, man. 500. Did I just read that number right, you guys? 580,000 people voted in. Is that what you said, John? 508,000 Democrats have voted already in Florida. Absentee ballot mostly. What do we get? Do we know results of absentee ballot? Eddie, you've been like tracking all of this stuff in Reddit. Do we have absentee ballot information for Florida? Okay, Eddie was saying the party releases it on the day. So I guess we don't get that information until Florida does their thing. So thank you, Eddie, for cluing me in on that, and appreciate it. Super delegates are 15% of the total. Okay. Hi, Nikola Tesla. Yeah. Really? JS236? Saw what live? What did you see live? What are we talking about? Ah, shit, I'm missing some of the conversation. Sorry, folks. Trying to catch up here. Pennsylvania primary. There's been lots of polls. Oh, shit, look at that. I ran out of comments. Sorry, folks. Where are we at? All right, program provides access. Okay, so we got Fox News 17 still showing local news. We are at 4:54. So hopefully in the next 6 minutes, they'll cut over to Bernie Sanders, and I've only got that much time to vamp with you guys, right? So it's been great hanging out. We've had a good time, enjoying the conversation here. I need to mark off where we're at in the comment spot so that I don't lose it, so you guys don't see the same damn comments again, because that's what happens, folks. That is what happens. Let me go down here and just mark it. Thank you so much, comment mods, comment moderators, everybody that works at Ready 2016 TV, everybody that hangs out in our audience, everybody's here. Thank you. We wouldn't, by you being here, doing all these things, we are helping Bernie Sanders right now. The effort that we put forth on social is important. Don't underestimate the power of live engagement in the semantic web. It is absolutely the most powerful thing we could be doing. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for all the hard work that goes into creating these events, finding streams, creating cards. So many people in the back doing so many things for free. Nobody's getting paid for this. Nobody's getting paid, folks. We're all doing this to save our planet. I guess that is. You're getting paid the highest price ever to live. So there you go. What is this? What did you just send me here, man? Clinton 54. Clinton 50. Is this Eddie just dropped in something for me? What is this a poll from? Florida? Mississippi? I don't even know what that means. Oh, geez, 65 to 11. All right, so apparently Mississippi, I'm just going to say this, not a surprise. Mississippi is one of the states with the lowest education. They got problems with education. They got problems with poverty. They got problems all over the place. They are probably the most disconnected from the internet in many ways. I'm not dissing Mississippi, guys, but it's true. Look at your stats. Not great. Okay, I apologize for that. That's the failure of democracy to take care of everybody. Okay? But that would be why they're all voting for Clinton, because they're like, she's the Democrat. Who is this Bernie Sanders weirdo? I don't know. I just watch the TV when I can, and I see Hillary Clinton. So that's probably what's going on here. I don't understand it. It's crazy. If we just get into these people's brains that you are no longer voting for Dem versus Republican. You're voting for the people, or you're voting for the establishment. If you vote for the establishment, just know that down the road, people may go, you voted for the establishment, and I remember that. You know? There's a lot of journalists that are going to lose jobs. There's a lot of people in the establishment media industry that are either going to lose jobs or they're going to lose relevancy, because most of the people that are awake, that are online, understand that the real news, the real coverage, the real discussion is happening on the web, not in establishment media channels. A lot of things are going to change here. I'm just going all over the place, folks. Rah! That's the disconnect. We have to educate. We have to get the point of this channel, folks. The original point of this channel, the mission statement, was to inform the electorate. That was my goal, to inform the electorate in America. And we have a long way to go. We've informed, a lot of people have become informed really quick. I'm becoming informed. All right. I don't really know how our democratic process fails or doesn't work or works or is supposed to work. I'm learning that with you guys right now. and finding out, it really doesn't work all that well. But we have 24% of America. 24% of Americans get their news from cable TV news and trust, they say this, they trust cable TV news over news elsewhere. That includes the internet. So this is 24% of America that doesn't believe what they see on the internet, where most of us at this point understand that the internet is where you seek the truth. It is up to you to figure out what is truth. It's up to you to recognize, to use your own critical thinking skills to identify the truth. And it's on you if you publicly state something you think is true and it turns out not to be. I've done this. Okay, I pushed an article last week and I got smacked a lot for it in comments about it. And it was a fake article. It was a fake article that Elizabeth Warren had in fact officially endorsed Bernie Sanders. And boy, did I look like a dumb fuck 30 seconds after I went live with that, feeling all nifty with myself. And I looked up the link and went, shit. All right. I should have done the extra effort. It's on us, folks. It's on us to seek the truth, because now we have the tools to do so. So if we are ignorant of the truth, it is our fault. But for us, we need to reach across the aisle. As people who are enlightened and see the truth, we have to reach across the aisle to the unenlightened and bring them to the internet, to bring them to the truth. It's amazing how much that sounds like a pitch for a religion. I offer you the religion of the internet. Leave the bindings of the old world and come to the internet, where truth can be found if you know how to enter a URL and Google something. Really, you just need to know how to Google something. Looking at Fox 17, I'm waiting. We'll be right back, hoping. What do we got? 4:59, folks. We're almost there. 4:59. Do we have more comments? We have more comments. Look at you guys. What do we got to say? Super delegates are a subversion of your sovereignty. They most certainly are. I saw somebody made a comment earlier that really hit me hard, and they basically said, you guys don't have a democracy there. How scary. I don't know. I don't know who said that, but I'm like, you're right. It's really scary. My monitor's over here. I'm looking over here because this is where I'm looking at the Fox feed, waiting for them to put something up besides the girl telling us about the weather, basically. Have any of you guys seen any of the pieces, any of the episodes of? Oh, they're talking election. They're talking election, folks. We may get to burn here in a second. Man in a High Castle. I'd not read the book. Philip K. Dick. He's the same guy that wrote Minority Report. Big movie. Came out. Actually, it wasn't called Minority Report, but no, it was called Minority Report. He also wrote Blade Runner. Blade Runner, Minority Report, pretty sure, right? Yeah. And so anyway, what was my point on all this? Man in the High Castle scares the shit out of me. I can't watch it. I told my wife, I said, I can't watch this show. I'm living that show in many ways. We haven't reached that point, but I feel like we're living that show, and that scares the fuck out of me. That I'm living in a nation that I need to be afraid of. I had to tell my wife, I said, I say a lot of things. I speak out against my government, honey. I call them the establishment. I tell them that, I speak out big time now, and I'm going to speak out more, and I'm expecting to get arrested. And she said, just don't go as far as Snowden. Please don't become, somebody who has to go to another country to live. So I'll do my best, but my job is to do what we need to do here, right? I feel like our country is that close. And that scares the shit out of me, to that man in the high castle kind of government, kind of country. I hate that oppression. That oppression is like one of my biggest fears. And maybe it's because I grew up like watching a lot of old World War II stuff and reading a lot of science fiction. But the Nazi military and the Nazi force is so scary. And our government is right here. Right there. We are so close to being that. We are that in a lot of ways. And so anyway, I just want to run that. All right. So I go to Fox. I look over there. They're talking about candidates, but who are they talking about? They're talking about the GOP candidates. GOP candidates. Nobody wants to. Nobody wants to hear about the GOP candidates. I thought they'd get 0.5. I have no idea, Eddie. Eddie's asking things here. With the exception of 8 DNC members. Okay, so Eddie's giving me some schooling here on the things. I don't know. We'll get. The bottom line on delegates and superdelegates is they're bullshit. We don't need either. We need one person, one vote. We can handle that electronically with an application that's built open source, run by the people, and is not connected to any corporation like Microsoft. You need to get Microsoft the hell out of this democratic process. Okay? And yeah, that's what we need to do. All right, I'm just watching that. They're talking about the Republican candidates. I'm looking at your comments here, guys. Gonna mark them off. Can I have a link to the speech? What speech? What speech you want to link to, guys? What are we looking for a link for? We'll get it to you. We'll get it to you. I promise. I promise. Anybody else see a local link for this stuff coming up? Let's see what Fox. Let's hear what Fox has to say. Okay, so right now. So right now they're talking about Hillary Clinton. They're talking about how Hillary went here and there and talked to some software developer and blah, 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 blah. Not really what we want to hear. Bernie wins. He has won every election in his career, only lost by 3 votes. Yep. Only lost 1 by 3 votes. Yeah. As far as a track record, Bernie has a better record. Bernie has a better record overall. We know this. Bernie's platform is better. What he's doing is better. That doesn't matter. The establishment media doesn't like that. They don't want that, and they are pushing a different narrative. That's why I say over and over and over again that our job is to our job is to change the narrative. Our job is to fight the war of information. Every time we tweet, every time we do a broadcast, every time we engage socially, do anything socially, send out a meme, create a meme, any of that, it helps inform the electorate. It helps fight against the misinformation of establishment media. We own the internet. They control their private networks. And what we're trying to do is get the indoctrinated off their private networks and over to the internet. And we have to protect the internet. Don't be surprised, folks, if we don't win this, if in the next couple of years something like TPP goes through, if we don't win this with Bernie, I want to make that clear. If we don't win this with Bernie, that doesn't mean it's over. That just means the battle goes on, all right? We have to put other people, fine, we'll put other people in Congress. We will take over Congress. We'll take over state and local government. And we will affect our change that way. Hillary can sit in the office, be a puppet, and we will tell her what the hell we're going to do. All right? So it doesn't really matter. We want Bernie to become president, but the goal is political revolution one way or another. It does not stop with Bernie. Okay? It starts with Bernie. It started with Bernie. Right? We have to educate. We have to bring people to where the information is. We are fighting that war every single day. Every time another establishment media group puts out a headline that basically, like the headline from Politico that said that Bernie Sanders basically implied that Bernie Sanders winning over the weekend is slogging down the democratic process because it's just stopping Hillary from taking her rightful place on the throne. It's basically how a political article worded that. We wish Bernie Sanders and his rabble-rousers would get out of the way so that Hillary can just take her seat on the throne. You know? Well, I wish the establishment would all just get out of the way. And I wish all the really ancient folks in the establishment would just pass away and go away. Go elsewhere, all right? So that we can run a country for the people with some respect and some honor. Honor our treaties. Take care of our veterans. Take care of our homeless. Revise our systems to focus on health, not war. To focus on living, not death. Revise our energy so that it is of the earth and clean and environmentally sound, not raping and pillaging the earth and causing death and destruction all over this planet for greed and money. Such a pointless, simple-minded goal. I want to look at the CEOs and everybody at Exxon and go, what small men you are. What small, simple-brained men you are. And it is men. Sorry, it's mostly men. White, rich, simple, dino-thinking men. Dino meaning dino thinking. They think like knuckle-dragging Neanderthals and that this world needs to be that way still. And dino thinking is Democrat in name only. Some of them are. I love that term. I forget whoever coined that term is brilliant. Democrat in name only. Dino. It's a brilliant term. I forgot who said it already, but I love that. Democrat in name only. They're still talking about Hillary. My guess is, folks, they are not going to show Bernie's speech. All right. I'm going to kick up the audio on them again and see what's happening. They just finished the Hillary piece. Okay. Oh. They're talking about him being at Kalamazoo. So this isn't even the live coverage of Bernie Sanders in Ann Arbor, folks. I may be barking up a tree. Or however it is, barking up the wrong tree. I'm watching. I'm just watching here, folks. All right. Okay, so I'm not even sure what we're doing here. Do we have anybody still watching the show? Hang on a second. Where are we, guys? I lost my thread. How are you, everybody? Who's all still here? Still have more than 300 people sitting here waiting for me to bring you Bernie Sanders, and I don't even know if I can. So, I'm sorry. I'm still waiting to see if they're going to provide a feed. I don't have one right now. Okay, it looks like they're covering Bernie Sanders at the Kalamazoo event, and they're just showing footage earlier today for him at the Kalamazoo event, and they're showing him doing a speech piece, and I'm wondering if that's all they meant by saying they were going to show a piece about Bernie Sanders. I don't know. I don't know, folks. Anybody out there, you find a feed, yeah, I see it, I'll drop in. I know. I apologize. I don't know that we're going to have a feed right now. It was a shot. Oh, you know what, though? I'll tell you about this while we're waiting. They're talking about numbers. While we're waiting. So Democracy Spring, like, got an email from the founder, and here's what I'm going to do. And I talked about LiveView a little bit today on the Nicole Sandler show, but what I'm going to do, folks, is we're going to send our streaming unit. We just decided this. I'm going to send our streaming unit to the DC Spring, Democracy Spring. Couldn't even think of the name. And I'm going to let them just bring us that event, the entire march, and then the entire sit-in with our gear. All right, and I'm going to talk to LiveView about this because they're to me, that's the best way to bring you guys freedom of speech in March. All right, so I mean, like the essence of what's going on here. And so, I mean, that doesn't mean we're going to stop bringing Bernie streams. But I was like, right now we're having a really hard time coordinating the upstream unit with the grassroots campaign. So instead of trying to do something else with it, I'm just going to send it to the guys over at Democracy Spring, and we're going to coordinate letting them bring us daily updates, daily coverage, however we can work it, of this march. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. Sean, I want to thank Sean Porter for coming up with that brilliant idea, because I wasn't even thinking. I'm like all mad. I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do with this unit? I gotta get it somewhere. I'm gonna get it to Scott. Scott's going to Miami. By the way, Scott's going to Miami. Scott, our insane road warrior with reader-supported news, is on the way to Miami today, and he is going to be bringing us, hopefully, if they can stop dicking us around with credentials, he's going to be bringing us spin room interviews and content from the other debate that's happening there. I can't even remember who's bringing us that one. So that's what we're going to do. Somebody's saying Fox 10, please. Did we guys find a... Burns back. Where? Get it to me. Get it to me in live production. Live production, folks. Give me the link. I can't grab it out of the YouTube chat because it comes in broken. Here. Is this it? Zox, is this it? Let me see. If this is the link, then... Hang on, folks. No. Thank you, Stephen. Fox 10. Okay. Give me 1 second, folks. We'll cut over to this. Great. We'll go over there. I'm just going to put this up, turn up sound. 2 seconds.
On the other hand, if we continue to have turnouts, voter turnouts like we had in November 2014, when the Republicans won a landslide victory, 63% of the American people didn't vote, 80% of young people didn't vote.
Thank you so much, Fox 10.
Yesterday, in Portland, Maine, where it gets pretty cold, there was a line a half a mile long where people were waiting for hours to vote. And if we could do that here in Michigan, if we can do that all over this country, we can transform this nation, and that is what this campaign is about. Now, Congresswoman Gafford told you some of the differences, and I know Senator Nina Turner did as well, between myself and Hillary Clinton. And let me start off by just stating some others. In America today, we have a corrupt campaign finance system which is undermining American democracy. And the reason that our campaign has been successful is that we are doing something very unusual in American politics. You know what we're doing? We're telling the American people the truth, even when the truth is not pleasant. And the truth is that men and women throughout our history have fought and died to defend American democracy. And if we don't get our act together very soon, we're going to lose a good part of that democracy. And together, we are not going to allow that to happen. When you have billionaire families and Wall Street pouring, dare I say, huge amounts of money into the political process, that's not democracy, that is oligarchy. And together, we are not going to allow our political system or our economy to be run by a handful of billionaires. Now, one of the differences between Secretary Clinton and myself is how we raise money. The sad truth is that if you run for president today, you need to raise many, many hundreds of millions of dollars. Sad but true. Secretary Clinton has several super PACs. Our largest super PAC in the last recording period indicated they have raised $25 million of special interest money, $15 million coming from Wall Street alone. Now, every politician in the world will tell you, oh yes, I've gotten huge sums of money from Wall Street, the drug companies, the fossil fuel industries, every special interest, but it doesn't impact me. Don't worry about it. The question that you have got to ask yourself is that it may be true that Wall Street is corrupt, they're dishonest, they're reckless, but they are not stupid. They do not donate money, millions of dollars, for no reason at all. Second point that you'll have to ask yourself, Secretary Clinton on a number of occasions has given speeches to financial institutions like Goldman Sachs behind closed doors and got paid $225,000 per speech. Now, I kind of think if you get paid $225,000 for a speech, must be a fantastic speech, don't you think? Must be one of the great speeches ever given in world history. And if it's such a great speech, Secretary Clinton, share it with the American people. Let all of us see it. Now, we have chosen, we gave some thought about it, and we understood that it's going to take a lot of money to run a campaign. And all of the pundits said, well, you got to do a super PAC. Well, we thought about it for a tenth of a second, and we said, no, we don't represent Wall Street, the billionaires, corporate America. We'll do it another way. And what we did, and in a million years, I would have never dreamed it would be possible. What we did is we said to the American people, working families, if you want real change in this country, if you want an economy that works for all of us, help us out. What has happened in the last 10 months, we have received over 5 million individual contributions. That is more individual contributions than any candidate in the history of America at this point in a campaign. Now, the way Secretary Clinton and others raise money, they go to some billionaires' home, they sit down and they leave with a few $1 million. Do you know what our average contribution is? I love that. $27. To paraphrase Abraham Lincoln at Gettysburg, this is a campaign of the people, by the people, and for the people. Issue number 2, where we have a very major disagreement. What I'm going to talk about now is not a sexy issue. Media doesn't talk about it at all. But it is an enormously important issue. And that is the impact of our disastrous trade policies on the working people of this country. What I'm talking about are trade policies like NAFTA and CAFTA and permanent normal trade relations with China. And let me tell you what these trade policies are about. They were written by corporate America. And what they were written for is to allow corporate America to avoid paying workers in Ohio or Michigan a decent wage. Why would they want to pay workers here 20, 25, 30 bucks an hour when they could shut down in America, move to Mexico, move to China, and pay workers there starvation wages? That, in one sentence, is what these trade agreements are about. What these trade agreements have done is decimate community after community in the Midwest and all over America. Since 2001, we have lost 60,000 factories, millions of decent paying jobs. Not all of it is attributable to trade, but a lot of it is. I have helped lead the opposition to every one of these disastrous trade agreements. Because I knew what they would do to America. I'll tell you briefly a story about trade so you really appreciate it. Way back in the early 1990s, soon after I got elected to Congress, I went to Mexico. And I went to an area in Mexico called the Maquiladora area, where a lot of these factories now exist. And I saw these state-of-the-art modern factories from the United States, from Europe. And then I said, I want to go speak to the workers who work in that. I want to go to their homes. Problem was, I couldn't go to their homes because those workers did not have homes that I could visit. Literally, and this is what I saw with my own eyes, they lived in cardboard shacks. In the early 1990s, it may have changed since, they were making 25 cents an hour. These were jobs that used to exist in the United States, taken to Mexico, where people were ruthlessly exploited. So I say to corporate America right now, you want us to purchase your products, TV ads every night telling us buy this, buy that, buy that. If you want us to buy your products, you better start manufacturing those products here in America, not in China. night in the debate, I was very surprised and disappointed. Hillary Clinton got up and she said in the debate, Bernie Sanders did not support the automobile industry during the bailout period. That is absolutely false. There was one vote in the United States Senate, happened to be on December 11th, 2008, and of course I voted to defend the automobile industry and the millions of jobs. What I did not vote for was a middle-class bailout for the crooks on Wall Street. Now, the reason that this campaign is doing as well as it is pretty simple, and that is we are listening to the American people and not wealthy campaign contributors. We are listening to workers all over this country who are making $9, $10 an hour, and they can't make it on $9 or $10 an hour. We are listening to a woman in Nevada who stays in my heart. She is in her early 30s. She has a beautiful daughter. She has student debt. She's making $10.45 an hour. And with tears in her eyes, she says, Bernie, I am scared about the future. I don't know how we are going to make it, her daughter and herself. We are listening to senior citizens. Now, the media doesn't talk about this either. But I want everybody here to know that there are millions of senior citizens, your parents and your grandparents, and disabled veterans who are trying to make it on $11,000, $12,000 a year Social Security. And I want you to think about being 80, 90 years of age, paying prescription drug costs, health care costs, keeping your home warm on $12,000 a year. And you know what? You can't do it. A great nation, as you all know, is not measured by the number of millionaires and billionaires that it has. It is measured by how we care for the weakest and most vulnerable among us. That's a great nation. Now, amazingly enough, some of my Republican colleagues actually want to cut Social Security. And at the same time, this is true, give hundreds of billions of dollars to the wealthiest people in this country in tax breaks. Well, I've got news for the Republicans. We're going to do it exactly in the opposite way they want. They want to cut Social Security for the elderly and disabled vets. We're going to expand Social Security for the elderly. They want to give hundreds of billions of dollars in tax breaks to the wealthiest 0.2%. We're going to substantially increase taxes for the wealthiest people in this country. This campaign is listening to young people. And as I've gone all over this country, this is what I have heard. Young people say, Bernie, why do I have to leave school, leave college, leave graduate school, $50,000, $70,000, $80,000 in debt? Why do I have to, for decades, have to pay off that debt? I can't buy a car, can't get a home, can't get married, can't have kids. We're paying 15, 20% of my limited income in student debt. People going to college and graduate school should not be punished. They should be rewarded. what this campaign is about is asking each and every one of you and the American people to think big, not small, to think beyond the status quo. Don't let them determine how you think. Think about this for 1 second, just 1 second. Everybody knows that education and learning is inherent in who we are as human beings, right? And everybody here knows that we live in a competitive global economy where we need the best educated workforce in the world, right? Everybody knows that the world has changed technologically and other ways in the last 50 years. 50 years ago, you had a high school degree. You know what? You're in pretty good shape. You can go out and get a decent job. In many respects, a college degree today is the equivalent of what a high school degree was 50 years ago. Thinking outside of the box leads you to conclude that we need to make public colleges and universities tuition free. And we need to substantially reduce student debt by allowing those with that debt to refinance their loans at the lowest possible interest rates they can find. Now, what my opponent tells me, what the establishment tells me, the big money interests tell me, we can't do that, Bernie. It is just too expensive. Let me talk to you for a moment about expensive. Let me talk to you about money. In the last 30 years, there has been a massive redistribution of wealth in America. Problem is, it has gone in the wrong direction. It has gone from working families to the top 1/10 of 1%. Now, when people ask me, how are you going to fund free tuition at public colleges and universities? How are you going to pay to reduce student debt? It's an expensive proposition. It is. You know what we're going to do? We're going to impose a tax on Wall Street speculation. Now, why is it okay that when the crooks on Wall Street help destroy this economy, they get bailed out by Congress? That's okay. But somehow it is not okay to say to Wall Street now, sorry, you are going to have to help the middle class of this country. And this campaign is listening to women. And what women are saying, Bernie, how does it happen that I work in an office, I work in a plant, and I get paid 79 cents on the dollar compared to the guy in the other office doing the same work? And you know what the answer to that question is? It is old-fashioned sexism. That's the answer. And I know that every man in this room will stand for justice, will stand with the women in the fight for pay equity for women. Now, again, what this campaign is about is raising issues that many other people prefer not to talk about at all. And here is one of those issues. This campaign listens to young couples who have small kids. And what they are telling me is that every psychologist who has ever studied this issue understands that the most important years of human development are 0 to 4, right? That is when we develop intellectually, that is when we develop emotionally. And the way we treat those little kids today in this country is absolutely shameful. Working moms and dads find it very difficult to find quality and affordable child care for the little ones. Together, we are going to change that. This campaign is listening to our brothers and sisters in the African American community. And they are asking me how it happens that in America we have more people in jail than any other country on earth. How does it happen that we have 2.2 million Americans in jail, spending $80 billion a year locking them up, and those people are disproportionately African American, Latino, and Native Americans? How does it happen? How does it happen that today, and I want you to think about this for a second, this is the case unless we change it, and we must change it. Today, a black male baby born today has a 1 in 4 chance of ending up in jail. That is a national disgrace. Today, we have a criminal justice system that is broken. And what African Americans and Latinos and whites are saying, we are tired of seeing unarmed Americans being shot by police. Now, I was a mayor for 8 years, Burlington, Vermont, the largest city in the state, and I work very closely with our police. And I want to say this, the vast majority of police officers in this country are honest, they are hardworking, and they have an impossibly difficult job. And we need to get them the training and the salaries and the decent schedules that they deserve. But what we also have to make clear is that police officers are not above the law. And that when a police officer, like any other public official, breaks the law, that police officer must be held accountable. We need to end the militarization of local police departments so they don't look like... Police departments are supposed to be part of the community, supposed to serve the community, not look like an occupying army over the community. We need to make police departments look like the diversity of the community that they are serving. One of the most serious social problems that we have in this country, very serious problem in my state, neighboring New Hampshire, and all over this country, is an epidemic of opiate and heroin addiction. In New Hampshire, a small state, a person every single day is dying from overdosing on heroin. We need to understand that we must treat substance abuse and addiction as a health crisis, not a criminal issue. Today, another issue never talked about, media doesn't discuss it at all, and that is we have a tragically high rate of youth unemployment. I asked some economists to do a study for me. This is what they said. For high school graduates, not dropouts, graduates, between 17 and 20, if the kids were white, 33% were unemployed or underemployed. Latino, 36%. African American, 51% unemployed or underemployed. And if anybody here thinks there is not a connection between that very high rate of youth unemployment and the kinds of people, number of people we have in jail, you would be mistaken. So you ready for a radical idea? We are going to invest for our young people in education and jobs, not jails and incarceration. We are listening to our Latino brothers and sisters. And what they are saying is they are tired of living in fear, tired of living in the shadows. They want, I want, comprehensive immigration reform and a path towards citizenship. We are listening to a group of people who has been so marginalized that it is really tragic, and that is the first Americans, the Native American community. Native Americans have been lied to, and they have been cheated, and they have been treated so terribly for centuries. If I'm elected president, that is going to change. Now, I know that all of you understand how real change takes place in America and throughout the world. Real change historically never takes place from the top on down. It always takes place from the bottom on up. In the 1930s here in Michigan, nobody gave workers the permission to organize unions. Workers stood together, they went to jail, they were beaten, they engaged in sit-down strikes in order to form unions and get collective bargaining. Nobody gave it to them. Civil rights movement was not solved by somebody on top signing a legislation or a Supreme Court. It was dealt with by millions and millions of African Americans and their white allies for several hundred years, saying that this country will not be based on racism, bigotry, or segregation. I want to tell you a brief story, and I learned about this recently. In the 1960s, as you all know, or should know, there was a fierce fight for voting rights in the South for African Americans, and it was met by tremendous hostility by racist sheriffs, Ku Klux Klan, and all of these people. I was in Birmingham, Alabama last month, and I went to the church, and I hope most of you know this. It's a church there in Birmingham where 4 beautiful little kids were killed when some racists blew up that church. What I did not know, I knew about that, but what I did not know is that during that month, there were 14 separate bombings in Birmingham, Alabama. 14 bombings in one city in 1 month to prevent people from getting the right to vote. But you know what the people of Birmingham did? They stood up with great courage. They fought back against the terrorists, and we won the right to vote. So if you think you got problems, think about people who had the courage to stand up in the face of terrorism, of bombings, and if you stood up, you would lose your job. Tremendous pressure, but they said that in America, we are going to have the right to vote for all people. And that is what happens. That is what happens when people stand up and fight back. And let me just say this, which all of you know. 100 years ago today, not a long period of time within a historical context. 100 years ago today, women in America did not have the right to vote. Women could not go to the schools or get the education they wanted. Women could not do the jobs that they wanted. But what happened? Women and their male allies said, sorry, in this great country, women will not be treated as second-class citizens. You want to hear about change? Here's change. If we were in this room 10 years ago, somebody jumped up and said, you know, I think that maybe in the year 2015, gay marriage will be legal in 50 states in this country. If somebody said that, somebody said it, the guy next to him would have said, what are you smoking? But in the year 2015, that is exactly what happened. It happened. It happened because the gay community and their straight allies said that in America, people will have the right to love those people they want, regardless of gender. And let me give you, when we talk about change, let me give you an even more recent example. If we were here 7 years ago, somebody jumps up and says, you know, Bernie, that minimum wage, the federal minimum wage of $7.25, that's awful, that's a starvation wage. We got to raise that minimum wage to $15 an hour. People would have said, $15 an hour? That's more than double the current minimum wage. You're crazy. You could never do that. But you know what happened? Workers in the fast food industry, workers at McDonald's and Burger King, they went out on strike. They went to their communities and they said, neighbors, we can't live on $7.25, $8 an hour. We got to raise the minimum wage. And then you know what happened? Out in Seattle, Washington, they raised the minimum wage $15 an hour. San Francisco, $15 an hour. Los Angeles, $15 an hour. Oregon, $15 an hour. My point is, New York State thinking about it, my point is that an idea that yesterday seemed radical and crazy, today is an idea that everyone says, well, of course, people need a living wage. What's the problem? That's what revolutionary change is about. And that is what this campaign is about. This campaign is about is telling Republicans who talk about family values that we know what they're talking about. And what they are talking about is telling every woman in this arena, in this state, in this country, that she cannot control her own body. I disagree. What Republican family values are about is suggesting that the federal government should defund Planned Parenthood. I think it should expand Planned Parenthood. What Republican family values are about are telling our gay brothers and sisters they do not have the right to marry. I disagree. Right now, there's a lot of angry people in this country. And you know what? People have a right to be angry. But what we have to be careful about is knowing what we are angry about and whom we are angry at. People have a right to be angry when we have grotesque levels of income and wealth inequality. People have a right to be disgusted when the top 0.1% now owns almost as much wealth as the bottom 90%. People have a right to be angry when moms and dads and kids are working incredibly long hours and 58% of all new income is going to the top 1%. That's wrong. What our job together is to create an economy that works for all of us and not just the people on top. I am a member of the Senate Committee on the Environment and the Senate Committee on Energy. You're welcome. And this is what I have learned after speaking to scientists all over this world. And what the scientists are telling us is that climate change is real. Climate change is caused by human activity, and climate change is already doing devastating harm to our country and much of the world. We have a moral responsibility for future generations to transform our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. When we think outside of the box, we have to ask ourselves a simple question, and that is, why is it that there is just one country in the industrialized world that does not guarantee health care to all of its people? One country. You are living in that one country. Now, how does it happen that the UK, France, Germany, Italy, Holland, Scandinavia, our neighbors to the north, Canada, they all guarantee health care to all of their people? Now, we have had some success with the Affordable Care Act. Expanded health care. Right? I'm on the committee that helped write it, done some very good things. But yet today, 29 million people have no health insurance still, Many people in this room are underinsured with high deductibles and copayments, yeah? And we are getting ripped off royally by the drug companies who charge us by far the highest prices in the world. And then to add insult to injury, we are spending much, much more per capita on healthcare than are the people of any other country. That is why I believe we need to move toward a Medicare for all healthcare system, guaranteeing healthcare to all of our people. Through the last several weeks, I have been in Flint, Michigan on a couple of occasions. What I saw in Flint, Michigan was one of the most unsettling and disturbing things I have ever seen. When you're a senator, you meet with a lot of people who are in a lot of pain. But I have, I think, never witnessed what I witnessed in talking to some of the people from Flint. It is, can you imagine, put yourself into a parent in Flint who has seen her daughter poisoned and the cognitive capabilities of that child diminish. A bright young child doing well in school, now in special education. And that is what is happening in Flint, Michigan. What I have done and what I believe is, number one, when you have such a major dereliction of duty, I do believe that the governor of this state should resign. Now, Flint, but here's the point. Flint may be the worst example of a broken infrastructural system. Obviously, when children are being poisoned with lead in the water, it doesn't get much worse than that. But Flint is not alone. There are water systems all over this country in very serious trouble. Wastewater plants in disrepair, roads, bridges, our rail system falling behind the rest of the world. We need to rebuild our crumbling infrastructure, and when we do that, we create millions of decent paying jobs, making this country healthier and safer. And when we talk about jobs, we should be hiring teachers, not firing teachers. Now, what is going on today is folks like Donald Trump and others are attempting. What they are attempting to do is take the angst and the anxiety of the American people, the fears of the American people, and using that fear to divide us up. To divide us up. I believe that the reason we will defeat Donald Trump is that, and I should tell you, that in almost every poll that I have seen, including one here in Michigan the other day, had us 22 points ahead of Trump. A recent national CNN poll had us beating him by 12 points. But I will tell you why. It's not just polls. This is why we will together defeat Trump if he is the Republican candidate. And that is, we will win because the American people do not want a president who insults Mexicans and Muslims. The American people do not want a president who insults women. The American people do not want a president who insults African Americans. And in case some of you may have forgotten, Trump was one of the leaders of the so-called birther movement. You remember what that's about? What that was, a very ugly and vicious effort to delegitimize the President of the United States because he is black. That's what it was. And the suggestion was that because President Obama's father was born in Kenya, that he was not born in America and eligible to be president. I find something very amusing. My father was born in Poland. But here's what's interesting. Nobody has asked me for my birth certificate. What do you think? You think it may have something to do with the color of my skin? I think so. We will together defeat Trump because the American people understand that bringing our people together trumps divisiveness and dividing us up. The American people will defeat Trump because they understand that community, helping each other, standing with each other in our times of need, trumps selfishness. And the American people will defeat Trump most profoundly because they know what every religion in the world teaches, whether it's Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, and that is ultimately love trumps hatred. Tomorrow is a very, very important day in the political history of America. And what that day is about is that if there is a large voter turnout, if you come out and vote tomorrow, if you bring your friends and your family and your neighbors and your coworkers, if there is a large voter turnout tomorrow, we will win. And if we win here in Michigan, tomorrow, Michigan has the opportunity to move this country forward toward a political revolution. Let's do it. Thank you.
All right, that is Bernie Sanders speaking. Before Bernie spoke, we heard
Hey everybody. Wow, that was awesome. I want to, before I forget, I want to thank Fox 10 Phoenix for bringing us feeds. And I'm just going to say this, and I don't want to get you guys in trouble, but is there a possibility that Fox 10 Phoenix actually feels the burn? You guys carry a lot of Bernie, and you carry a lot of Bernie that's not really near you, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much. Local feeds don't mess with us, guys. I don't know why. It's really cool. And so when we get a local feed like that, that's just great. Sorry I wasn't able to catch the beginning. Thank you guys for making that happen. You brought that feed to me. All right? I didn't know where it was coming from. So whoever brought that in, oh, Scott dropped. By the way, Scott Galindez just dropped. He's on his way to Miami, folks. Scott's in Miami. Tomorrow he will be bringing us, hopefully, there's a rally. He just dropped information in about a rally. Let me tell you, let's see. Miami, Future to Believe in Rally, James L. Knight Center. Is at 400 Southeast 2nd Avenue, Miami. Information for the public, blah, 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 blah. Program begins at 7 p.m. Eastern. So we'll probably go live at 6. Do a pre-show, cover it. Who knows? But yeah, Future to Believe in Rally. And obviously, actually, we'll be going live before that. But now we have a rally to look at, okay? We'll figure all that stuff out because we're going to cover what's going on with the results and be cheering on Michigan. And I'm talking to people about how we're going to do that. But yeah, that was awesome. Thank you, Fox 10. That was great to have you all here. We had a ton of people. Tons of people. What do we got saying? Steph dropped it in chat. Oh, Rocket. Thank you, Steph, for finding it. That's great. Thank you so much. That's how we do this. We work together, folks. How do we, the people, change our country? We do it together. Why? Because we are many, they are few. It's the bottom line. This is why their system won't work. They don't recognize that. They put themselves in the position where they have to be overtaken at this point because things are unbalanced, right? So we, the people, when we work together, there's absolutely nothing we cannot accomplish. We've learned this lesson in the past, but we tend to forget it when we get beaten down by the establishment. We forget it. Now it's time for us to come together again and do this. And we are. It's brilliant. It's wonderful. It's fantastic. I was very, very moved by this entire day. It's been a lot to it. This whole day has just kind of been awesome for me, having you guys here. More than 800 people. I don't know how many people, 900 people, lots of freaking people. Thank you for being here with us. Really appreciate it. And again, thank you to Fox 10 Phoenix, and thank you to Bill Luke Ram, because Fox 10, this is where we get into questions like Fox 10 is covering this, and I understand that Bill Luke Ram wants to get advertising, and that's great, and I don't want to take away from that, guys. So thank you, and I hope we can work together soon. And you know, any other local feeds as we move in to bring Bernie, I just know that we want to work together. All right, media, establishment media, is going to have to evolve to the will of the people, or they're just not going to exist as corporations. So we don't want to ostracize. We want to get them to evolve, to change, right? So hopefully we can make that happen. Let me just read what you got saying in conversation here. Wake up, Michigan. Yes, 963. Jilly B. Is that what we got? That's awesome. I like Nicole. Nicole was badass. Robin, I'm so glad to meet her, and so glad to be connected with all of these legends. I mean, I have a lot of respect for it. I think I've told you guys before that one of my little retirement fantasies is just to be a yacht rock disc jockey and have a night talk show and play some tunes. Really, but I'd rather do it with a video. I want to update. I'd like to do this, but for fun, not so that I have to take back my country. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Anyway, I really had a good time. Okay, I'm looking at some stats. AZTCK says, John, Bernie's only down by 5% in Michigan. So I'm seeing a lot of different reports. I'm seeing one that says, like the HuffPoll pollster overall shows that Hillary still has this crazy lead. I don't think that's accurate. I hope 5 points difference is actually the truth. And we'll talk about that tomorrow, because my great newswire, all of the volunteers in Bernie 2016 TV, and you guys help us out. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Prog Rock. I'm bouncing all over the place. It's been a long day. Bouncing all over the place. But yes, we will talk about that in the morning. Prog Rock, Steph. I'm a big Porcupine Tree fan. You can't see my... I used to be a big Porcupine Tree fan. Steve Wilson. Love those guys. If you haven't checked them out, they're really, really good. Check them out. Drummer. Incredible. All those guys. Incredible. Anyway. Thank you, guys. I know I bounced all over the place right now. I'm trying to get through your comments because you guys had a fantastic conversation. Fantastic conversation going on. Really appreciate it. That's what makes the difference here. The discussion, the conversation, that's how we inform the electorate. That's how we inform each other. Tomorrow, hopefully Scott will be bringing us this rally. There's a rally happening. There's another forum debate. I think it's, no, this one's a debate. This one's actually a debate, sanctioned debate. I don't know how I'm going to cover that or if I'm going to be able to cover that. I think it's on ABC. I don't know. So I'll have events put up tomorrow. We'll talk about all this tomorrow in the newsroom. And I did put a statement in there about burning in the morning. I do a morning burn, folks. I'm a big advocate for cannabis, and I've taken a lot of care to not be afraid to say that anymore because it's legal. It's okay. And that's part of the indoctrination that I'm getting rid of. So I grew up thinking that beer was okay and that cannabis was bad. But the truth is, cannabis is so much more okay than alcohol. Alcohol is a horrific drug, a horrifically addictive, horrible drug that does horrible things to the human body. And it should have a much higher restriction in the drug scale than cannabis. But we know that our government did what they needed to do for profit, for greed, for whatever the hell they wanted, right? So I'm helping myself work through that indoctrination, not being afraid to tell you folks that I enjoy cannabis, both recreationally and for medical needs, because I got a lot of all sorts of issues. Anyway, I'm just going off on that. And yeah, burn notice. I saw you smile on a morning burn. The reason is, this is so cool. I'm just going to tell you this before we end. I dropped in a comment. Occasionally, I have the time to drop in an actual comment in the YouTube chat spreadsheet, so it'll show up in the run. And I put one that said, I do a morning burn before the newsroom. It calms me down. And you guys should see me when I'm not. I'm a hyper spaz, incredible sane spaz. If you don't think I'm a spaz now, I'm a spaz then. Anyway, Jesse was monitoring comments and was really being good about it, saw that in there, didn't think it was appropriate, pulled it out, then realized I dropped it in there and apologized. So that's how awesome you guys are. That's how awesome this is when we work together. This system, what we're doing here together, this channel functions because we all work together to have each other's backs. And that's what a democracy is about, is having each other's backs, working together. We're going to go out with one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen put together. This is, give me 1 second to pop this open. This was put together by a volunteer. Hang on. This was put together by a volunteer named Freeman M. And it is Bernie Sanders' statement. It's published on February 24th. And I believe this was at the CNN debate forum, whatever it is, must have been a forum. And it was asked about, they were trying to get Bernie Sanders on religion, and they asked him what his faith was or what he believes in. That's the question, what does he believe in? And his answer was absolutely just gorgeous. It was beautiful. And I don't think you could sum up what the people want together. There's just no better explanation of how we should be together than what Bernie has to say here. I love what he has to say. And I am a person who does not believe in any organized religion whatsoever. I believe in humanity. I believe in all of us working together. I believe that love trumps hate. But I am not a fan of any organized religion. So I love what Bernie had to say here. You guys honor me with being here together. And I am so glad that we can serve Bernie and fix our nation together. Thank you all so much, and we will see you tomorrow, newsroom, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Feel the burn, everybody. Thank you for being here.
This is what I believe. Every great religion in the world, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, essentially comes down to do unto others as you would like them to do unto you. As a 22-year-old kid getting arrested in Chicago fighting segregation, I believed it in my whole life. That we are in this together, not words. The truth is, at some level, when you hurt, when your children hurt, I hurt. I hurt. And it's very easy to turn our backs on kids who are hungry or veterans who are sleeping out on the street. And we can develop a psyche, a psychology, which is, I don't have to worry about them. All I'm going to worry about myself. I need to make another $5 billion. Hey, this whole world is me. I need more and more. I don't care about anybody else. I believe that what human nature is about is that everybody in this room impacts everybody else in all kinds of ways that we can't even understand. It's beyond intellect. It's a spiritual, emotional thing. When we say that that child who is hungry is my child, when we do the right thing, when we try to treat people with respect and dignity, I think we are more human. That's my religion. That's what I believe in. And I think, most people around the world, whatever their religion, their color, share that belief that we are in it together as human beings. If we destroy the planet because we don't deal with climate change, trust me, we are all in it together. That is what my spirituality is about.
Huge